what did you feel as a black man when you saw that, dude? Like, what went through your
Yeah, for
mind?
sure. And man, I try not to even watch videos like that because I attend church at a predominantly white church. So I try not to even watch things like that. And so I seen the video, and the first time I seen it, I just scrolled past it. I said, I can't do this. Like, I seen the caption that was on top talking about the murder, talking about how it went down. But at the same time, I was just like, man, this is going to do something to the inside of me. This is going to hurt me, for two reasons. Is another black young man, it didn't have to lead to murder. So that, first of all, breaks me. But also, I know on the other end of that, people that I absolutely know have a relationship with Christ that I do life with, I know there's not going to be anybody speaking up for that injustice. Like, I don't know how forward it has to be in our face for us to finally say, you know what, man, this is wrong.
Right.
Like, what has to happen for you to say those words? This is wrong and justice needs to happen. But when I finally I pressed play and I seen the video, man, I was just heartbroken. And as a black man, it did, man, I can't even describe those feelings. I've tried to describe those feelings over the last week, but man, you just don't find words for that.
Yeah.
Like, you're speechless. Like, this should not happen. One thing Pastor Alex said before we even went on camera, I was like, man, thank y'all for being courageous into doing this. And he said, man, this doesn't take courage. It doesn't take courage. This takes common sense. Like, we should already be thinking this way. We should already have a mind frame that, man, this is wrong, especially, if we're centered on Christ. Revelation chapter 7, verses 9 through 12. And this is what it says. It said, I looked again and I saw a large crowd, too large to count. Everyone was there. All nations and tribes, all races and languages, and they were standing dressed in white robes and waving palm branches, standing before the throne and the Lamb, and they were singing, salvation to our God on his throne, salvation to the Lamb.
That's so good,
And
dude.
so, like, when I look at that, I'm like, hold on.
Yeah,
So that's in
good,
heaven. Everybody's together. Every
Yeah.
language, every race, and then they're singing. It says to our God.
That. But as a normal, average white person, what could we begin practically doing to change the culture of racism and to really set the tone for future generations coming behind us so that they don't experience what the prior generations have experienced?
For sure. I think the first answer is going to be one that's not expected. Don't do too much. Right? Don't,
Right.
because that can be super awkward,
Right.
so don't do too much, have some healthy boundaries. But yeah, I love the question, what can we do? I know for my life, in the culture that I'm in with the church that I serve at, man, just doing life with each other.
Yeah.
And maybe inviting somebody outside of your race to your house,
That's
just
good.
to have
Right.
dinner
That's right. That's
and
very
things
good.
like that. And one thing that I've learned that works extremely well, and it's just an icebreaker, and you just get to know people. Man, people invite me over to their house, and we just have game night, right? And you just get to know people.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, doing life doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be complex. Man, that is a great step one. Hey, man, I just want to invite you and your wife over for dinner.
Right.
And, man, we're going to have a game night and, man, just get to know each other.
Right.
Man, it doesn't have to be anything super crazy. But I think that is a great first step. And before you know it, man, you will just naturally begin to reach out to people that don't necessarily look like you.